All right, buckle up, everybody, because
Yeah.
we are diving deep today into something called pyrroloquinoline quinone.
Whoa,
It's a mouthful,
that's a long one.
right? But we can just call it PQQ, thank goodness.
PQQ, much easier. Where are we going with this?
Well, this one's actually for you. Remember a little while back somebody wrote in and asked about
Yeah.
PQQ and how it might be connected to obesity and inflammation.
Right.
And even mitochondria, those little powerhouses.
Yeah, the energy factories.
Yeah, so that's what we're diving into. We've got a 2024 review article here from the journal Antioxidants.
Okay.
And it looks at a whole bunch of different studies on PQQ.
Nice.
So,
sounds like a good deep dive.
Yeah, so if you've ever wanted to be a PQQ pro, this is the place to be.
All right, let's do it. PQQ Pro. So you mentioned obesity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big one. Obesity, the research really dives into the fact that this is not a simple thing. It's not just about extra weight. It's a whole disease.
Right. And it's really about how our bodies store fat and all the things that can go wrong with that.
Okay, so let's...
And the cascade of problems.
Yeah, let's unpack that cascade a little bit. What exactly are we talking about?
Well, okay. So think about this. Obesity, having all this extra weight can lead to some pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Chronic inflammation in your body, which is never good.
Right.
Oxidative stress, which basically means your cells are getting damaged.
Oh.
And it can even mess with your metabolism,
right?
Like how your body uses energy.
Okay.
So what happens is you end up with this imbalance. Your body's not using energy the right way.
Right.
And that can obviously affect how much weight you're carrying around.
Yeah.
But it can also impact how much muscle you have, which is really important.
Yeah, and that's where this whole PQQ thing comes in, right?
Yeah, so PQQ, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
One of the things that I think is really cool about this is that PQQ is kind of like this
firefighter in your body because it has both anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. So it kind of comes in and it tackles those problems we were just talking about.
Okay.
The inflammation, the cell damage. It tries to calm everything down and protect you.
So it's kind of like a 2-for-1.
Exactly. 2 birds, 1 stone. And, the researchers think that this is a big part of why PQQ might be able to help with how our bodies store and use fat.
Okay.
Like it could help improve our metabolic function overall.
Okay, so, you mentioned muscle mass a little bit ago. And one of the things that I found kind of scary in the article was that it said obesity can lead to people having less muscle.
Right. It's like this downward spiral.
That's linked to a higher risk of
mortality. It's not good. That's a serious problem.
So, but this is where PQQ,
might be able to turn things around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some studies out there, and we need more research for sure.
Yeah.
But they suggest that PQQ could actually help protect the muscle mass you already have.
Okay.
And maybe even help you build more.
Oh, wow.
So, just imagine if you can address obesity and at the same time help people keep or even gain muscle, that would be huge.
Yeah, that would be a game changer.
It could totally change how we think about health and how long we live.
Now, this is where I think it gets really interesting. So, you remember those mitochondria we were talking about?
Oh, yeah, our little energy factories. Those guys.
Yeah, so it turns out PQQ seems to have
a real connection with those.
Like a special relationship with those.
Yeah, they're like best buds.
Yeah, so what's the deal with that?
Well, there's actually been a bunch of studies, and they've shown that PQQ might be able to really boost how well our mitochondria work.
So it's like...
Yeah, it's like giving them an upgrade.
Yeah.
Helping them produce even more energy and do it more efficiently.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so, you were curious about PQQ, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to know how it's connected to obesity. And what we're seeing here is that it's looking like PQQ could be really helpful for a lot of the problems that come with obesity.
It's tackling the inflammation, the oxidative stress.
Yeah.
And it's looking like it might even be good for muscle health.
Yeah.
And for our mitochondria, which is super important.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
I'm ready to go buy some PQQ right now.
I got to get me some of that. But hold on. Before you go running out to the store.
Talk to your doc.
Yeah, always a good idea to talk to your doctor before you start taking anything new.
Absolutely.
Because they can help you decide if it's right for you.
Definitely.
But you know what?
What?
This deep dive leaves us with a really interesting question.
Okay, I like questions.
Like, if PQQ can actually help our cells make more energy.
Yeah.
And maybe even protect our muscles, what else could it do?
Ooh, That's a good one. I mean, that's what researchers are trying to figure out, because it's not just about obesity, right? It could be about anyone who wants to be healthier.
Yeah, anybody who wants to live longer.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we love these deep dives.
I know, right?
Because they make us ask these kinds of questions.
They get you thinking.
And they open up all these possibilities.
Exactly.
So keep those questions coming, because we love them.
And we'll keep diving deep.
We keep on diving
into the research.
Absolutely.